Hello everyone. In this video, I'm going to solve the CSI net exam paper that came in 2023 June exam. So in this, I will also tell you how to solve the questions. Okay, and what kind of question they are asking. Okay, and what they want from a student who is preparing for the exam. In which context they are asking the question. Okay, so I will explain all those things in detail. Okay, with the question as well as some other information I will also add. If we look at this question, okay, the movement of particles obliquely upon the slope of a beach, why the swash, okay, one term, swash, and directly down this slope, why the backwash is referred to as, okay. Suppose this is our coastline, okay. This side we are getting beach. This side we were sea. Okay. Always remember that the waves that are coming toward the beach are always making some angle. Okay. And when it move back after interacting with the beach, it will go 90 degree with the beach. Then again obliquely. Then again return back with 90 degree. Okay. This is a process. Okay. The water along with sand that come with obliquely, we call that as a swash. Okay, and the water that is returned, okay, upon the slope, we call it as a directly down it is coming now, we call that as a backwash. And this whole process, okay, this whole process we call it as a beach drift. Okay, beach drift. Due to beach drift, the beaches are moved from one place to another, because due to that the sand that is coming will come down, and again the sand is moving up, and again it is coming down, and in this way the beach sands are moved. Okay, so it means our answer is first, but there are three more terms. Okay, we have to focus on those terms too. Okay, we get our answer, but this is not the criteria to solve the net exams question. Okay, we have to go with the other options too, so that if, because syllabus is same every year, okay, but the questions are asking in a different way, so the options that are remaining we have to try to involve those questions, options too, in our study. Okay, so that we can, if some questions related with this come in the exam, we are able to answer. So our second option is beach accretion. Okay, what does the meaning of beach accretion? It means beach is developing. Okay, widening of beach. It means is that. Okay, widening of beach. So it means this term is related with the beach. Saltation. Saltation is related with wind erosion. It is a kind of process. Okay. So in which the sand or the material that is eroded, okay, move with the help of wind and bouncing. Okay, and due to that the particles are broken into smaller fragments. Okay, it is related with the wind erosion. this term, elevation, okay, and there is one more term, ELL, okay. These two terms are related with soil profile, okay. And in many exams, a question related with the soil profile every year comes in, CSI net exam and other exams too, okay. So what does it mean, okay? The zone from which the material is moved out, we call that zone as a elevation, okay. And where that material is deposited in that zone, in the new zone, we call it as a elevation, okay. And it is related with the zones, okay. Okay, suppose here the material is eroded and go down, we call this zone as this one, and this zone where the new material is deposited, we call it as a elevation, okay. Hard band are the terms that we are used for that, okay. So in this way we have to go with the questions, okay. Lowering of temperature from 4 degree to 0 degree causes the density of seawater to salinity is 35 to, what is going to happen with that, okay. Now suppose we have a seawater, okay, 4 degrees Celsius, here we are getting 0 degrees Celsius, okay. Here we have a salinity of 35. Okay, what is going to happen here, okay. Now if we have we are decreasing the temperature, okay. So and freezing something, okay. So the salt present within the seawater will come out of the freezing, okay. The salt that are present within the seawater, due to freezing, it will increase within the unfreeze part, okay. The salinity is increased within that part, okay. So if we will go with our options, remain unchanged, no. Density of seawater, because salinity increase, it means density obviously increase, na. Both are proportional to each other, okay. So it means option fourth is wrong. Decrease, no, because density is increasing, salinity is increasing, density is also increasing, okay. From here to here, density is proportional to salinity. Due to freezing, salinity of seawater increase, so it means density is also increased, and the bond angle between the water molecules is also increasing. Due to that, the volume of the water is increased, no. Otherwise, how we will float ice on the water, okay. Due to that, okay. I'm not going into the bond details, okay. So its density from 35 to increase greater than 35, okay. So increase, so it means these options are wrong. So correct option is increase non-linearly. There is no straight line, okay, to decrease the salinity, okay. So In this way we have to solve the questions. Okay. So now if we look at this question, the maximum radiation of sun occur in which of the following wavelength? Okay. And the most of the wavelengths are talking about UV and visual. Okay, this point 0.3 is related with the UV, and in visual band we have a zero point 0.4 to 0.7. Okay, 0.5 is here and zero point 0.6 is here. Violet, blue, green, yellow, orange, red. Okay, violet, blue, green, yellow, orange, red. Okay, so if we look, okay, in visual band, how we will imagine? Okay, if we look at the things that are surrounding us, okay, water, okay, we are able to, we see blue light, blue wavelength here. Okay, atmosphere blue. Okay, plants green. So most of the things, these two things will cover most of the earth na? So so the maximum radiation, okay, we are getting of blue and green. Okay, we, just roughly visualize our things surrounding us. Okay, otherwise the things are the color that we observe, it depend upon the absorption of the light. Okay, all the colors are absorbed and only the color is reflected. Okay, and from the sunlight blue and green are the two radiations, wavelength, uh, which gives the maximum radiation. Okay, we're getting a curve like this. Okay. Okay, so it's come around zero point 0.5. Okay, so our option is 0.5 is right. Okay, so now if we look at this question, in this question the island of and the backup basins are located on. We have to tell that on which plate setting these two things are occurring. Okay, so now both the things are related with the subduction zone. Okay, so here one plate is going beneath the, here both the plates, this is the plate. Here we are getting a volcanic rock. Okay, and this is our opening up new ocean, new basin. Okay, that we call as a backup, backup basin. Okay, we call these peaks that are volcanic, we call it as a island of when both the plates are oceanic. Okay, we call it as a oceanic plate, and this one is also an oceanic plate. This plate have a low high density, that's why it's going up, and this plate having low density as comparison to the plate that is subducting beneath. Due to that, it is, we call it as a overriding plate. Okay, okay, we call it as a overriding plate. Okay, so now we will go with the options, which is the right option. First option is the overriding plate. Okay, okay, option is right, and the second option is subduction plate. Okay, subducting plate. Okay, yes, one plate is subducting and other plate is overriding. So now third option is overriding plate. The island arc are formed on the overriding plate and the back arc are on the subducting plate. No, back arc basins are present on the abducting or overriding plate. Okay, so it means this option is our correct option. Okay, island arc and back arc are located on. This is located on the subduction zone. Okay, okay, this part is our subduction zone. Okay, and this plate is overriding over this plate, and we are getting okay small connection current due to that this opening took place. So right option is fourth one. Okay. So in this question, which one of the following is correct with respect to the residence time of water at the global level? Okay. We look go with the options. Okay. Atmospheric water is greater than river water. Means atmospheric water resistance time is more than the river water. No. Because atmospheric water is due to evaporation, and if evaporation took place and then rain occur, okay, so it is resistance time is less, resistance time is less as comparison to river water, so it means this option is wrong. And the second option, atmospheric water resistance time is greater than the ocean, again this option is wrong. Now if we go with the third option, river is greater than the groundwater, river water. Okay, you remember one sequence. Okay, resistance of ocean water is greater than river, greater than atmospheric water. This is the sequence. Okay, so our option fourth is the right one. Okay, and one groundwater is missing. It will come here. Okay, ocean, groundwater. Okay, G will come here. Ocean, groundwater, river water, atmospheric water. Okay, this is the sequence. Okay, try to remember this sequence. If this question will come again or in another form they will ask, you can easily answer such type of questions. Okay. Now in this question, which one of the following layers of Earth contributes maximum to its gravity? Okay. First of all, we know what is the formula of gravity. Okay. We should know. Okay, G m1 m2 m2 divided by r square. Okay. Proportional is there. Okay. This is the formula. Now, in terms of Earth, we have to tell that. Okay. As the Earth, we know that Earth have crust mantle core, different in composition and density. We divide these layers. Okay. So remember this graph. Okay. Depth and this side we can get a gravity. Okay. Okay. Suppose here we are getting 9 and here we are getting 10. Okay, these are the depths of a crust mantle core in this way. Okay, as we know that 9.8 is the at the surface of the Earth, it will start increasing. Okay, up to mantle. Okay, after that it will decrease, start decreasing. Okay, this is the curve you have to remember. Okay, crust mantle core. Okay, why this is so? Okay, main thing is that by the dense gravity value increased up to the core mental boundary, and then in the core it value start decreasing. Okay, uh, two three things on which these things will depend. Okay, material. Okay, material, distance, this r. Okay, this distance. Apart from these pressure, temperature, we can conceive, if we want to consider those things, you can add up. Otherwise, no need to add this. Okay, these two things are the main factors. Okay, and remember this thing, core mental boundary. After that, it will decrease. Okay, so it means mental is the right option. Okay, okay, mental can contribute the maximum. In the next question is, if the seismic wave velocities do not vary with depth inside the Earth's mantle, then what is going to happen? Okay, within the mantle. Okay, if is the simple answer of this question is, if the velocities are not varied, it means the material is of same. Okay, mantle is made of single material. Okay, but we know that with the increase of depth within the earth, the velocity of P wave and S wave varies. Okay, this depends upon the density of the material. That's why the both the curves are changes with the depth. Okay, and we know that S waves are passes through the you know not passes through the liquid. Okay, so this is suppose this is our mantle and this part is our core. Here we're getting our S wave 103, and we have one more 143 or near what something like that. This is a this is shadow zone for P wave, and 103 to 108. This whole is for S wave. This thing will form when there is change in the density of the material. But in our question there is no change in the density of the material, so we will not get these shadow zones. Okay, so our correct option is there would not be any shadow zone, so this one is the correct. Not change in shadow zone. No, wrong. Change in shadow zone. Okay, will occur because uh, it depend upon shadow zone depend upon the density of the material. Okay, the all the options are wrong. Okay, because the material is okay. Next question. Negative geothermal gradients are observed over. Okay. Suppose this is our mid-oceanic ridge. Okay, suppose this is our mid-oceanic ridge and these are our convection current. Okay. And this is the hot spot. Okay. and here we are getting volcano or island. Okay, subduction zone. Okay, and we are getting hot volcano here. Now, if we go with the things, okay, here we are getting high geothermal gradient because source is from core mantle boundary. Okay, we have to tell the negative geothermal gradient. Okay, for the second option is mid-oceanic. Mid-oceanic is created due to convection current. Here the again the magma is coming up. Okay, here also geothermal gradient is high, but a hotspot where the geothermal gradient is more than the mid-oceanic region, and then volcanoes. These are the volcano island or volcano. Okay, geothermal gradient is also high in these spots. Okay, but in subduction zone. Okay, here these convection currents are going down. Here the convection currents are going down. So at that spot, geothermal gradient is low or negative geothermal gradient. Here we are getting positive, mid-oceanic ridge positive, hotspot positive, and in geothermal gradient is also low in the cratons. Cratonic. Okay, as comparison to other part of the plates. Okay. In the next question, the sun is directly overheaded at Chennai, 13° north. Once in a year, twice in a year, 4 times in a year, every day. As we know that the 2 days are longer in a 1 year, so option is twice a year when the sun is directly overheaded at the Chennai. Okay. In C's rule of constant proportions relates to in C's. Okay. TS diagrams, pressure density relationship, TS diagram, water mass identification, or salinity. That 35 parts per mole is the fixed, okay, or set rule for constant proportion. Okay, that is only for salinity. Other things are vary with the things. Okay. Next question is the most abundant gas in the stratosphere is. Okay, we know that the atmosphere is again separated into layers. Okay, and stratosphere we get ozone layer, and ozone layer is formed is O3. Okay, okay. Troposphere, we know that nitrogen is more in troposphere. Okay, and in the stratosphere also the nitrogen is more. As we know that in the stratosphere we get ozone layer. Okay, O3 and this C chlorofluoro CFCS. Okay, and oxygen is very less in the troposphere itself. Okay, and the oxygen is with the increase of height the oxygen is diminished. Okay, so so nitrogen is more in the stratosphere. Okay, all the other gases are very less in amount. Okay, and there are some reactions related with the ozone layers. Okay, I will not go into that detail. Okay, because ozone layer itself a concept. Okay, and every year we will get one questions from the ozone layer too. Okay, so I will try to make one more video related with the ozone layer. Okay, I will try to make one more video that is related with the atmospheric layer. Okay. Next question is red animals at 300-meter depth in the ocean will appear. Okay, red animals. Okay, that are living at 300-meter depth. What kind of color we will get? Okay, 0-degree depth, 100-degree depth. Okay, all the radiations or wavelength. Okay, are observed up to a depth of 100-meter. Below that depth, light will not pass. Photic, photic zone. No light. Okay, all the things that we are seeing below 100-meter is of black color. Okay, so correct option is fourth. All others are wrong. Next question is energy condition is the least in which of the following depositional environment? We have beach, we have a barrier bar, lagoons and tidal channel. Tidal channels are the area where we will get, high tide, low tides. Okay. And in the lagoons, it means sea will play a role. Okay. Sea plus tides, gravity, hormone. In lagoons, this part is, not connected with the sea now. Okay. Separate. Barrier bars, suppose this is our coast and we get a barrier in front of the okay coast, but sea influx is there. Okay, and in beach direct influx of sea is there. So here in beach energy conditions are high. Here also sea play a role, so energy conditions are high. Tidal channel energy conditions are high, and in the lagoons, okay, no role of sea involved in the lagoon. Okay, and these are formed due to the coral reefs or other things. Okay, and coral reefs are formed generally in a calm environment. Okay, calm environment. Okay, and the sediment supply is also very low. Temperature is also play a role. I will explain these things in some other videos. Okay, related with the corals.